Hello, Rise Up Visionaries. I'm Susan May, and I'm here to share my journey and my ramblings to help you tune into your intuition so you can continue your journey of unplugging. So you can see I just changed my intro a little bit. I don't want you to, some of you have already been unplugging for a while. So some of you may be beginners, some of you may be more advanced. So I'm here to just help you on your journey wherever you may be. So today's live is day 8 of the 12 days of Christmas, but I'm switching it up, and the title says Dinosaur Gas, and it's about a perspective shift or change that I had years ago when I was reading a dinosaur book to my daughter. I actually don't think it was this one. We had two of these awesome books, and I read them both to her. And there was a phase in her life where I read to her every night, probably, I don't even know, at least an hour before bed. And I remember coming across this fact in one of the dinosaur books about how much gas they produced. And it was a crazy amount of gas. Like atmosphere changing, um, global warming producing, just large amounts of gas, just from eating and their digestive systems and just flatulence. And it was actually in the form of methane. And so I couldn't find the fact, and it was not in this book. So instead, I went online and I found on the National Geographic website an article about this, and it is fascinating, and I'm going to share some screenshots in the comments. But the thing that it really made me appreciate is that when you think of dinosaurs, do you think that they were going around being like, man, I gotta stop eating? This was sauropods in particular, which I think are the long-necked ones. They're herbivores anyway. I gotta stop eating so many leaves and so many trees. I'm producing too much gas, and it's changing the atmosphere and the climate. And oh my gosh, the world's gonna end if I don't change my diet, tomorrow. And yes, we humans are very intelligent. Um, our brains and the way we think, the way we can think into the future and reflect on our past and adapt does make us unique animals. But often we think ourselves into ridiculousness. Like, we literally do things to try and control our environment with so little foresight into the future and end up making bigger problems and bigger messes and bigger mistakes that then we go on and try to fix with more science and more studies. And it's a never-ending cycle. Now, personally, I don't believe, my belief is that we're humans. We're not going to stop being human. Um, but one perspective that I really like recently was of Zach Bush, and he keeps talking about how if you look up the word nature in like an online dictionary, it it takes humans out of nature. It's like anything not man-made. And so we are separate from nature, which if you really just stop 1 second and think about is ludicrous. Of course we are part of nature. So I just really encourage people to try and get a bigger perspective. Um, Here is one thing that helps me a lot, and it sounds a little morbid, but I remember that I am going to die someday. And I remember that often. I might think that, I especially think it when I'm having a hard time, when I'm thinking about how horrible life is or how awful the world is and where are we headed, what direction are we going in. And of course, I don't want suffering for myself, especially for my children, for my loved ones, for people I care about. But there's only so many things we can control. And so we have to really try to gain perspective. And this is one way that can help us gain perspective. We are all going to die, whether it's in one big mass human extinction and then life goes on in some other form, or whether we continue this for many more hundreds or thousands of years. each of us individually is going to pass on to whatever's next. And so that helps me remember to live in the moment and to grab life and just soak it up and do everything I can today. And so I hope you see the connection between the dinosaurs and where I'm going with this. I mean, I really think dinosaurs and other animals have a lot of things right that we humans could do better. We can start tuning back into our intuition. You could call that instinct or our innate intelligence, and stop trying to understand everything through a scientific lens, and stop trying to control everything that's not within our control. I hope this resonates with you and it helps you just to remember these little things or these big things, big dinosaurs eating big leaves and putting big amount of gas into the atmosphere. And how funny is it that they made more gas than we do? More gas than we do, all man-made and all natural-made. They think that dinosaurs made more than we produce today through all of our activity and all natural activity, which is just incredible. Anyways, I want you to remember always be bold, be brave, be you, because who else is there to be? And one more side note, I am going live in my Gather and Get Moving group to talk about vitamin C because it's really needed right now. And I want to talk about some personal things and how to get people started. So, hope to see you over there. And if not, I will see you tomorrow for day 9 of the 12 Days of Christmas. Hope you're off to a great start this week. Bye.